Hi guys, this is our last day in Libya. As you all know, we came on Friday to start this documentary, and I think we just finished. And I just wanted to give updates on what we have achieved and what is coming out soon. I think we have achieved what we wanted to achieve, and mostly, if you keep watching CNN this week, you can see from our team as always. That is different stories and background checks from Libya and what has been happening to the black African communities in Libya being sold as slaves. And I just want to give my take on what has been happening right here. If you walk on the street of Tripoli and you walk on the street in Benghazi, you can see that this is a small gang who were part of the people who were fighting for the rebels who were fighting against Gaddafi and being sponsored by Hillary Clinton and the Americans. They were part of those groups. And after the war, I think this gang came out of that rebel group, and they are part of the people who have been selling this, kind of black African migrants in Libya. And that is not the only thing they do. They also sell human kidneys of children, and so not even the black African, they sell human kidneys of children of their fellow Libyans. It's what is happening down here. It's so big that this news agency coming and talking about it is not gonna end this. This country is in chaos. What we saw for these 3 days, it can never be solved by some news agencies using 1 week or 2 weeks to talk about this. Hillary Clinton and the Americans and the Western world left this country in ruins. It's in chaos. And something really needs to be done about it. I have seen police people being too corrupt, but in Libya the police people now are so much corrupt that it's so crazy. Before we can go and talk to two of these migrants, black African migrants, who were in captivity for my Ivory Coast because they were hidden. We have to pay money to these police people, and we have to pay money to this gang before they can let us talk to them. Can you imagine that? I was walking on the street somewhere, and we're trying to find something to eat. And we entered this restaurant, and they were looking at us, and they saw us with video cameras, and they saw us with tags and other things, and they started talking to us. And you can see I saw almost 3 women crying, saying they don't know what the future holds for Libya now, because the Americans left this country in chaos, and now rebel groups, terrorist organizations, and gangs are controlling the groups in the country, such as the police, the departments, and everywhere. I think it's something that the African Union have to address, because the dream of this man, this great man who was killed in this country, was to unite all of Africa. Don't get it wrong here. The Libyan people are also sad about this incident, because it's a small portion, like 1% of the country's population, who is doing this. Manipulating their government, bribing the police. It's such a mess in the country. And I'm pleading with every organization outside, please make sure, this gets out. Make sure that there is something done in this country. The children of Libya are suffering as every children everywhere in Africa, in Asia, in everywhere. They are suffering. Schools have been cut off. African migrants being sold everywhere. I wept for 2 days. I look at these guys we interviewed and I talk to them, how many times do you eat a day? And they tell me they will eat once. And they showed me some roti bread, kind of on a plate with some stuff. Can you imagine a roti bread with some kind of with some tuna and stuff for a day? Some shitty stuff is really going up here. And you can't blame anyone. The only person you can blame is Hillary Clinton and those Americans who left this country in chaos and in ruins and armed these rebels and gangs who have nothing to do now but to just terrorize black African people in Libya and kill children for their kidneys. We came here to do our job. And the organization that sends us, we have made sure our job is done and we have done what we are supposed to do. But the rest will be left to them to sort it out themselves, to make sure this country is back to on its feet. This country is hanging on a thread. And if they don't take care, there will be another war in this country. Not because of our government or something, but because of what is happening now. This gang of people selling black Africans is not only terrorizing the black African, they are also terrorizing the Libyan citizens, especially the women and the children. Rape going on, extortion going on. This is crazy. I have my take on this, and I hope the word will get out, and people who understand that what is happening here is real, and they have to do something about it. Those people, Americans and Hillary Clinton, armed. They have to do something about it. The harm has been done. But the only thing we have to do is to avoid future incidents. That is the only thing we have to do. How can we stop all this migrant from coming from my fellow black Africans coming from Ghana, Liberia, Nigeria, Ivory Coast, Sierra Leone, Tanzania, all these people coming, passing through to the Mediterranean Sea to Spain? How can all this be stopped? It can never be stopped. Because as far as we have these old people with these colonial ideas leading those countries, the only thing they are interested in is embezzling the country's natural resources and money. And trust me, they are not doing it alone. They are doing it with their Western partners. All this bribery and corruption going on all these countries comes from the Western world. Companies in Germany, in America, in Canada, in UK, especially in UK and United States. So before you can say that those people have to stop coming, we have to make sure that those leaders who have to make sure that those people are comfortable in the country and they don't even do even 1% quota of what they are supposed to do, this will never end. It's high time we hold our leaders accountable. It's high time we hold them accountable. I know my country, Ghana, we did. We took someone out because we knew that he wasn't accountable to the people, and we brought in a new person. It's high time countries like, Cameroon, countries like Ivory Coast, countries like Togo, all these countries hold their people accountable and make sure that if you don't do a good job, you go. This ECOWAS state, I don't even know the reason why they stand for. Or what is the reason of this ECOWAS? It does nothing for its citizens. All it keeps happening is people from West Africa, people from West Africa. And that is the people who are being sold here. Why? Because there is nothing they can do in those parts. Education is expensive, living is expensive, but there are no jobs. How can people survive if you have such a high expensive education, a high expensive living life in those countries? It makes no sense with no jobs. It's high time things get changed in West Africa. It's high time we make our people accountable, our leaders accountable of what they are due or what they are due to pay back. I'm tired. What I've seen